John Osborne here. Let's do the FX Educational Outlook for May 30th, 2017. First of all, remember that we do have non-farm payroll later on this week. And I believe a couple weeks from today, the FOMC is meeting. So 2 weeks from Wednesday, we will be seeing the minutes coming out from there. So those are a couple things to watch out for over the next couple of weeks. So the first thing I wanted to look at is a little bit of a change in direction that we have here on the Aussie US dollar. You can see that we broke finally above this pivot or previous trend line here, went up above it and tried to get above this previous pivot here. Didn't get up anywhere near there, but came down and retested this line. So what we want to do is watch to see if we can break above this one and head higher. We're still in this weekly pivot, and that's probably just going to wallow around until we can break out of that pivot. For the euro pound, we broke above this trend line here on the daily, and look how we went up and actually broke out a little bit. Let me just fix this one here. We broke out a little bit above this previous swing high here, but couldn't close above it. And we went back down and retested this trend line right here. You can see we came down and touched that, but then closed right on this trend line. So it looks like this is going to try to make another run higher. Today we did break through the top of this just by a little bit, and we can watch to see if there's further movement up. So we really want to keep an eye on breaking above this new pivot here, and that would be above 0.87500. This is a bullish entry right here, but we are getting a weekly indication here that we're running out of steam. Let's see what happens. With the euro US dollar, you can see we went up and we've been pulling back just a little bit. We're still on the bullish side here with bullish on our weekly, but we are struggling to break through this 1.12989, this previous pivot that we saw here. And we're seeing increasing bullishness overall, but a little bit of a pullback here and which is a little bit worrisome. With the Swissy yen, and this is in our pending bearish area, we're now seeing a higher high here, but we're not seeing the same higher high. In fact, we're getting a little bit lower in our MACD. So this is a bearish divergence that we're expecting to play out here. Now it has come down and put in a nice little pivot, doji, and that's a reversal doji, but we'll see if it will make a run higher from there or move down. So what we're going to do is watch for 112.496 to be broken, and if so, we could see a nice run down to here or down to here. So watch for that as potential bearish entry that you might want to trade if you want to trade it. And we're also watching the Aussie Swissy, which broke through the 0.72437 about a week ago, and then has come down and broke it again and is bouncing yet again, but we're not going quite as high as we did before. But unfortunately, we're getting a little bit of a bullish divergence here. So we have a lower low but a higher MACD value. So this might be weakening here, so watch to see what happens when we break through that 0.72437, if we break through it. And we're still struggling to break through that line here. Well, we did break it, but still we need to see some power move through there. For the dollar loonie, very similar in that it went down and tested this 1.34085, did a tweezer, and then has been hovering in a consolidation sense. So to see if it's going to break higher or go lower. Our daily MACD is telling us it wants to break lower. Okay, and we're sitting right on this weekly trend line at the time of this recording. For the pound yen, we are putting in a very bearish signal here to go lower. So we'll be watching for the pound yen to continue going lower after not breaking through the 148.447 on the weekly. And we have on the pound loonie, we got 1.71663 as a previous pivot right here, and it seems like we went down, broke through it just a hair, and then we bounced up again, but we're still looking quite bearish, and therefore we'll be looking for a break below there at 1.71663 to continue lower. You can notice we also broke through this 120-minute trend line, and that is significant. And how far did we go down? Well, we broke through here, but we still have to break down through not just here, which is where, or here, which is where it kind of got close to, but we really want to see a breakdown below the start of that run up there at 1.71969. And with the US dollar Swissy, it went up after breaking through the 0.98128 support and tested this previous pivot that we had here, and once it's also in this bit of a consolidation or pennant pattern here on the weekly. So let's see what happens. We broke above it with maybe a run and stops, went all the way back down to the other end of the pennant. Let's see what happens as we get closer, but it's looking bearish on the weekly and only slightly bullish on the daily. And that'll do it for today. Make sure that you follow me and are subscribed and to be able to get notified when I produce a new video. You can click on my smiling face. I also have a link here, previous video that I just uploaded. And that'll do it for today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.